I want to bring in Fil Waters. He's a retired homicide detective at the Houston Police Department, has investigated more than 400 homicide cases. The list is extensive, Phil, and you know it can always grow, right? They have the right to add charges later. I do not see rape on this charge. I wanted to get your take, seeing that list and what story that list tells us.
Well, good evening, Ashleigh. I will tell you what it tells me is that they had asked the chief what was the motivation here, and he said there was no known motivation. Now, there has to be motivation. There's three reasons why people murder people: sex, drugs, or money. Obviously, I don't think there's a drug component here. I don't think that he was there hijacking her, so that leaves the sexual assault part of this as a component. It's my speculation, based on what we know, that this assembly of charges here is to ensure that he's going to be tried for a capital crime. And yes, the death penalty will apply. So it'll be up to the prosecutors to see if they're going to pursue that. But the reason you don't see sexual assault here is because it didn't happen. And I think that what this suspect's motivation was, she may have been a random target, and the chief used an opportunist, a crime of opportunity, which it was. But I got to believe that this guy has been scoping this area out. It's next to the intramural fields. He knows that these college students are running across this area all the time, and he was there looking for this opportunity. And unfortunately, here comes Laken, and it was the time for him to strike. And I think that the reason you have sexual assault is because she fought him with such ferocity, he wasn't able to accomplish what he was seeking to do.
God, I hope so. And I hope that, you know, they've got DNA under her fingernails that will tell an even clearer story. Just quickly, I only have 30 seconds left, but there's a charge of kidnapping and false imprisonment. Now, we know from the O.J. Simpson trial, kidnapping can be, I moved you a few feet against your will. I get that. False imprisonment, though, does that tell you that they discovered her tied up?
I don't know that they discovered her tied up, but he's keeping her in an area and not allowing her to leave. So that may be the elements of false imprisonment in Georgia. That may be the component there for that charge. But like I said, they've got a whole host of charges here to ensure that he's going to be tried, if he is tried, for a capital offense.
Then the next thing is that there's concealment. Does that mean he tried to cover up the body, tried to obscure the body, maybe put the body in a drainage culvert, some way to obscure, again, concealing the death of another?
Well, it's my understanding that I read the incident report that was put out by the officer that found her, and he finds her in the woods. So I would imagine that there's a haphazard effort to try to conceal her body as he's making his escape. So you've got the elements of several different crimes here, all in one crime scene. So I think the prosecutors are covering all the bases here in terms of what they're going to prosecute this suspect for.
You're right. And if they go after death penalty, they've got all sorts of aggravators that they can throw on that list as well. Fil Waters, as always, you know, so appreciate your information, your advice, your background, and it's just so sad that we meet for these things. Thank you, Phil. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.